today's show. This is how I'm going to talk throughout the whole episode. No,
I'll join you in on that, mate.
I'm just being silly.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Howdy everybody. Welcome to the I'm Clifford Today show. I'm Clifford Today, and you're not, and he's not. That guy over there, that's Mr. Nick Gundy.
That's right.
Is joining us today.
That's right.
How are you doing today, Nick?
Well, I'm glad to see you again, Mr. Clifford.
I'm glad to see you, man. It's been a while, as the Nickelback song says.
No, that's Stained.
I know.
They're
all the same.
I know, but you know what those remind me? Michael from Windward shared on his Instagram story of a meme video. Oh, like it was like a caption, paraphrasing. It was something like, "We all have that one friend where it's like you say a particular phrase and it's part of a song."
Yeah.
So he says, "It's been a while," and then his friend starts saying, "It's been a while," and he's like, "Bah!" And then he
I do that with myself.
Right? And then it's like, "Bah!"
Yeah, absolutely. I do that with myself, honestly. So it's just who I am. I am who I am. You know, someone's got to be. So, yeah. Well, it's good to have you back, man. I was all by myself in the last episode, and that's always very weird, always very awkward. It's good to have people who can give me feedback as I'm yapping, and it's good to have other people who can also yap as well.
Yeah.
So, feels good, man. Well, today, as you probably have seen in the title and the thumbnail and everything, we're going to talk about something that nobody's talking about, and that's AI.
What about AI?
Yeah. Honestly, I never thought that I would be doing an episode on AI.
That confirms
and AI
this was
music.
not on his nor on my bingo card this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I should have seen it coming. I mean, we'll get into it, but yeah, we're talking about AI music and how it's actually affecting Christian music. It's starting to. We're seeing the beginning stages of it, and so that's why we're doing an episode on it. Like, I wouldn't just do a video on it just because I want to talk about AI, because there's thousands of other videos talking about AI, and there's thousands of videos talking about AI music. I don't see a lot of people addressing the fact that it's affecting Christian music. So we're going to get into that. First, we got some housekeeping to do. Also wanted to make sure that you guys knew that there is a new episode of the Podwood Forecast that is out. That is the podcast that I do with my friend Mitchell. It's out on all podcast platforms. We talked about our favorite EPs of all time. So I know all you music lovers would really appreciate that episode. I even talk some of the EPs that I mention are Christian EPs. So I think you guys will enjoy that. It's always fun for me to get together with my friend and talk about those things. So go check that out. Have a couple of comments from the last episode. Some of you guys remember, unless you skipped that episode entirely, which, I wouldn't blame you really, but talked about a really difficult subject, and that was the whole thing with involving Charlie Kirk, and talked about Christian artists reacting to Charlie Kirk, which there have been a lot more, quite a bit more since that episode, not to mention the fact that had a handful of Christian artists who led worship at his memorial. So could have talked about that too if that had happened, but not going to do another episode on it. You guys already know, my thoughts on it, but there were a couple of comments that we got, and so in response to it, and so I was actually really nervous because I thought that this would be another one of those episodes where we get some negative feedback, but so far that has not happened. So, but we've got a comment from Deceptisar. Great name. I assume that that's a Deceptisar in your profile. Says, I was not a fan of Charlie Kirk. I find I disagree with many of his extreme political opinions and his demeanor when expressing some of them. I won't question his salvation because he was of a different opinion or his love of God because of that. I am saddened that he was killed. I know God does not support or condone violence over political opinions. What Christians need to reflect on is Jesus' love, redemption, serving others, taking care of the less fortunate, forgiveness, and salvation through his blood. Politicians and governing policy of a country are not more important than following our Lord. At some point, I hope the nation can come together despite all the anger, pain, and sadness that the present political climate has brought upon us all. We are in dark times. Prayer, kindness, and faith in God alone is the only path of deliverance for this country. This is not something I immediately felt. It had to be revealed to me over these last few days through God's insistence. We have to follow Jesus' example so we can reach others for Christ. We cannot war with one another. That's Satan's desire and not of God. And amen. I completely agree. I mean, I do find myself in line with most of Charlie Kirk's beliefs, but I do agree that you don't have to agree with everything about him. You know, he was a brother in Christ and he was killed because of his beliefs. So, but you're right. We do have to follow Jesus' example through this whole situation. So thank you to Deceptizar for that comment. That was very much not deceptive. And so I appreciate that. Unless you were deceiving me and that whole comment was a lie, which I don't think it was. So.
Oh, forgive me. I forgot.
Thank you. What I need is a soundboard or something, a little sound effects to play. But I'm not going to do that because that'd be lame. So I'll just let Nick do it. Next comment we've got from Isaac Halsworth. And honestly, Isaac, I'm just going to say from your profile pic, I thought that you were Pippin from The Lord of the Rings at first because of your curly hair. So, but that is not an insult or anything. I just wanted to point that out. But your comment said, my situation with Charlie was exactly the same as yours. I am not a fan of the way Forrest markets himself, and I kind of thought it was weird for him to react to a video of Kirk praising him. That seemed like a bit of an odd thing that put the attention weirdly on himself. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wasn't a big fan of that. I can understand that. So he's talking about Forrest Frank, which was kind of a main chunk of what I was talking about in the last episode, and Forrest Frank's whole response to Charlie Kirk's death. And I can understand that.
Yeah, I've only seen the one clip you shared from your Instagram, like at some point last week.
Or, the clip from the last episode. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I thought you were done.
Yeah, and then I'm only personally aware of some things that he said that caused him to lose 30,000 followers. So like that major drop is a bit shocking. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I don't know, man. I'm chilling. I'm just trying to do what I can.
Yeah, and honestly, Forrest Frank didn't even really say much at all. Like, he didn't even say whether he was a fan of Charlie Kirk or anything that he agreed with. But mostly what he was saying was he was just trying to point people to Christ and how he felt like, something is happening, like this whole event has kind of affected everything. And so he wants to, focus his efforts on spreading the gospel. That's basically all he was saying. And people got mad at him because they felt like that he was, praising Charlie Kirk, which maybe he does like Charlie Kirk. I think he does, but that's not really what the point of his videos were. So yeah. And when it comes to your comment about him reacting to a video of Kirk praising him, and I watched there was a recent episode or podcast that Ruslan did with Forrest Frank and Corey Asbury. I would recommend you guys check it out. It's very interesting. But they talked about and I don't know if it was recorded before or after the Charlie Kirk thing, because there was no mention of it. But Forrest Frank kind of goes into his social media presence on Instagram and such, because that's something that both he and Corey do and like focus a lot of energy on, is their content on Instagram and such. And Forrest kind of just goes into like why he does what he does and kind of the whole process over like each video that he does. And my theory is that, you're saying that it was weird for him to react to a video of Kirk praising him. I honestly think that Forrest had not watched the video before. And I think that he genuinely was recording himself giving an honest reaction to it. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but that's kind of my theory, is that Forrest didn't really even know. And on top of that, I don't know. I don't think it's too weird. Because what Forrest says at the end of the video is that it doesn't really feel like that he's making it about himself, really.
Yeah. So, like, sorry, to be a little bit more specific, I think, like, when he said something about, like, we're in the latter days, so I was like, huh? But we've always been in the period of these latter days.
I think that's what he means, because I've seen him post other stuff after that, and he made a whole song too.
Right, because I've grown up with the. Well, I've had a different sense, a different definition of what it means to be in the last days of the latter days. Mm-hmm. So it's me also trying to grow out of that. Be like thinking strictly. This is it.
Yeah.
Meaning versus, this is how it's always been after Christ ascended up into heaven.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just overall, it's just our turn to have some hard times and struggling times. And with that, it helps shapes us to get our act together.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, it's just our turn.
Yeah, and I think the more that I've seen from Forrest Frank and this new song that he came out about Jesus is coming, I do think that he's having more of an attitude of not like, because we just got over there was this whole craze about this guy predicted the rapture.
Well, thank goodness I was out of the loop for that. So I was like,
oh yeah. It was this guy, Mike Winger, did like a couple of videos on it, and it was a whole big thing. Like even Charlie from Moist Critical did a video about it, and it was a big embarrassment because obviously it didn't happen, but it's on the forefront of a lot of people's minds, especially with the events of today. And I think what Forrest Frank is really just trying to get at is that Jesus is coming. He is going to come, and we should have that mindset that, Jesus could come at any point, and we got to make sure that we're doing our best to build his kingdom. It's not about actually finding picking a date when he's going to come or whatever. And it's not about, just giving up on life because Jesus is coming. So what does it matter? But it's more of just having that kingdom mindset and make sure that we're doing what we can. I think that's his real heart behind it, from what I can see. So I think you're right about that. But yeah, I don't honestly. I've had my issues with Forrest Frank. I thought the whole quote unquote beef between him and Corey Asbury was weird. We almost talked about that on the channel, but never got around to it. But the more that I learn about the guy, the more I'm starting to really like him. So
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm like fighting to try to get him on the show sometime. I think that would be cool. Probably not possible, but I would love to have him on sometime. But
I mean, you've had a Newsboys member on the show, so anything's possible.
Yeah, true. Former Newsboys though, so that makes it a little
that's
easier.
what I mean. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying. We do actually. I'll be talking about it at the end of the episode, but we do actually have an interview episode that should be coming up for the next episode. So, but more about that at the end. So, but yeah, thanks Isaac for the comment. Really appreciate it, and I get your perspective, but that's my response to that. So, cool. Well, that was all of the comments from the last episode. Really appreciate.
Cool.
It was just one of those episodes that I thought, it could go one way, it could go another, but you guys were pretty much all positive about that, and I appreciate that. Well, speaking of the end of the world, we're talking about AI, because AI is taking over, or taking our jobs, and it's going to be the Terminator. That's how it's all going to end. So, not really, but it is kind of it's kind of bleak, to be thinking about a lot of this. And I want to start off this conversation by just kind of sharing my general views about AI in general. And I want it to be clear that I'm not 100% anti AI. And maybe,
I'm mostly there.
I hear that. Yeah. In a lot of cases, I am anti-AI. I'm especially anti-AI in the arts. But even then, in certain circumstances, I think that there are very few exceptions that I'm okay with. But 100%, I'm not quite there yet. And I don't know, fast forward 10 years, people are going to be like, oh, we should have, you were wrong and we should have gotten rid of AI. I'm like, yeah, maybe. But the truth is that it's here and there's no getting rid of it. I am okay with like AI being used in terms of like as a tool in some cases, just as long as it's not a replacement for like actual hard work. And we're going to talk about that when it comes to the arts. But even in the arts, there have been a couple examples that I can think of where it's like, oh, okay, I'm okay with that. Like, for instance, the Beatles, not too long ago, came out with, they released an unreleased song that John Lennon had written and like recorded a demo for. And so like the remaining band members, Paul and Ringo, they recorded, they got in the studio and recorded the music for it, but they still wanted to use John Lennon's voice in the song. So what they did is that they didn't use John Lennon AI voice. Don't jump to that conclusion. But they took his original recording and they cleaned it up using AI so that it had a better quality in the song. And so things like that where it's like, okay, I can understand that. They still used his voice, but they just, I'm okay with using AI to do things that, normal technology isn't really capable of doing. Just as long as it's not a replacement or anything. Like I would have major issues if they did use an AI John Lennon voice, but they didn't. They used his real voice and they cleaned it up. other examples are there was a whole controversy with the film The Brutalist. I haven't seen it yet, but it's starring Adrian Brody, and there was a whole thing because they used AI to improve his accent, but when he was talking, not when he was speaking in English, but when he was speaking in what I don't even remember what language he was speaking in. But when he's speaking non-English, they used AI to kind of like improve his accent so that it felt a little bit more believable. I was like, I don't know if I have a problem with that. So like there are certain situations where I'm not like completely anti AI. So I just wanted to make that clear, just at the beginning, because for the rest of this episode, you're going to hear me be pretty anti-AI. So, because I've used. Well, the other thing is like what qualifies as. Sometimes we use the term AI and it's not even like correct for what we're using it for. I'm not really even sure what it is exactly, but like I've used AI to help make clips for social media. There's like a AI whatever there's like an AI tool on Riverside that helps like it helps pick out clips in an episode, and then also you can use it to like it'll like cut out ums and spaces for you to make it more of a cohesive clip. And personally, I'm okay with that because it's like I don't have that much time to edit things myself. It's like I've got a full-time job and everything, so I can't be like spending hours just trying to make a clip. So those kinds of things, like you may not like that. You can sue me over that, but those are some instances where I use AI. But today we're talking about using AI to make music. Yeah. Because pretty much what we're talking about is when people use programs like Suno. Suno's the only one that I can really think of right now. They use it to they just generate songs. They maybe they'll write their own lyrics, but most of the time those lyrics are generated. They give prompts, and then like Suno makes a song for them in whatever style they want. And that seems to be big these days. People doing that a lot. There have been big controversies.
It doesn't feel big for me because I'm not so in the loop of it, but I've only seen pocket sizes of it.
Yeah. See, like even you haven't been able to avoid it. There was one band that I think like the Rolling Stone did a whole article on. I don't even remember their name, but they were making headlines because people didn't know at first that they were AI, but they were like getting so many streams.
That one fake indie band.
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but people were talking about it. Yeah, it's not like it matters too much, but so when that stuff started happening, it's like, okay, this is I don't approve of this, but so far that hadn't, at the time, it had not been happening in Christian music. Well, now it's starting to become more of a thing, and so that's why I wanted to talk about it. And there are different categories of Christian AI music that I wanted to address. And first, I just wanted to get what I call the silly stuff out of the way. I had sent like a few examples to you guys, but there is this there's this YouTube channel called Praise Plug that basically all of their content is, I mean, you can hardly even call this Christian music, but I guess it is. But they're all supposed to be collaborations with Eminem and Jelly Roll and Rihanna singing Christian songs or writing Christian songs. And it's really funny because you go to the YouTube channel and almost all of the thumbnails are like everyone's crying in the thumbnails. And it's just like super
and like the more recent ones,
serious.
I'm looking at the YouTube channel right now, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to their oldest one. So there's a lot of crazy.
Oh, yeah, you got Taylor Swift there and
thumbnails.
Justin Bieber. I didn't even see
I'm
that.
like, what?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a tribute to Pope Leo.
The 14th. I just saw that. Don't get me started on what he recently did.
And there's Beyonce. Oh yeah, we won't even touch on that. So that's for another podcast. There's Billie Eilish as well. I guess the more recent videos have been mostly Eminem, Rihanna, and Jelly Roll for some reason. And the most popular.
Have Eminem and Jelly Roll collab together in real life yet?
I sincerely doubt it. Jelly Roll doesn't seem like the kind of artist that Eminem would collaborate with.
Yeah.
Nothing against Jelly Roll. I don't really know anything about him.
Dad likes Jelly Roll.
Yeah. But the most popular video on this channel is a tribute to Charlie Kirk, and I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Not that the Charlie Kirk situation is funny, but it just seems like we talked about on the channel before those YouTube channels that were basically just
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, it's like basically
like
content farming, and that's what it seems like.
And then
here.
like a good handful of comments are just botted messages.
Yeah. Although it's not in all of the videos, but especially their more recent videos don't have AI in the title. But if you go back, you'll find like all the titles say AI music video. But
yeah,
I feel like that they like go back and change that, because I remember when I found the tribute to Charlie Kirk, I don't know if I remember there being an AI mentioned in the title. I could be wrong, but so this is just silly and like pretty easy for most people to spot that it's AI. It's not that deceptive. If you're just a normal person, you might not catch it. I mean, unless you're like old and you just don't catch those things. It's harder for older people to catch AI than it is for us younger folk. No offense.
Yeah, because like Brett Cooper talked about it as well. Like how for older people, their brains, I think she said something like the old people's brains are more developed and complete. Mm-hmm. So like when they encounter things online, they can't differentiate fact from fiction.
Yeah.
At times.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna. She might be watching right now, but I'm just gonna shout out my mom for a sec. This is nothing. I'm not like trying to embarrass her or anything, but I'm just using her as an example because some people, they just don't they don't quite understand AI just yet. And because there was one day where like my mom was like, I keep seeing these videos of Baron Trump like singing hymns and and I was like, wait, what? That can't be real. And she showed me, and there are these very obviously AI generated videos of Baron Trump singing country songs and hymns with Donald Trump on the guitar and Elon Musk on the drums. But like my mom didn't understand like that was a thing, that you could like generate videos and such. And so she's like, I don't think this is real, but I don't understand like how, like what this is. So I had to explain it to her. So yeah, I just think that there's, you know, a lot of the older generation that just don't pay attention as much to these kinds of things. You know, they don't understand like how good AI has been getting, and it's only going to get better, which is kind of scary. But because like they don't look like animated or anything, they look like real people, for the most part.
Yeah,
so
and it's like cool, and it's like I'd say it's by style, it's just like a little bit above current video game graphics. I would say, like you
yeah.
so like you got video game graphics right here, and then you got AI videos that are getting up here,
Mm-hmm.
getting closer to IRL right up here. So it's like, well, boy, we get bamboozled pretty quick.
Yeah.
The upside, and of course, the upside to it though, AI is only limited and mostly exists on the internet and sorts of other things, as much as I'm aware of. Because, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
once we get into actual Cylon territory, we're in trouble.
Yeah. It's I mean, I don't know. I don't know how, if it's gonna get beyond the internet, beyond, you know, digital technology. I'm not an expert in any of it, but
Me neither, but
this is what we know for now.
yeah.
So I was actually I had just watched a video the other day about because they're still like testing AI and doing experiments, and apparently
You know what
there
that
was
reminded me of? Maybe it's the same video. Mike Godfather shared me a video of an AI robot that was like face to face with a lion. Like it had understood all things to know about lions. Got itself well educated for everything. Soon as it came face to face, and I think lion gave a small roar, that robot just went into panic and shut down.
Yeah, it's still a long ways to go for some of them, but that's funny. Well, I guess it just knew what that lion was capable of, and that's why it freaked out. But I just wanted to say there was a video, an essay that I watched where apparently, there was an AI that attempted to murder the person who was doing the experiment. It attempted. It's not capable of, but in the experiment, it attempted to. So I was like, that's kind of scary. That because it tried to kill him to prevent being shut down. So it's the future, everyone. And here we're talking about Jelly Roll and Eminem videos. Well, we're trying to get to the less depressing. Oh, well, it's still kind of depressing, but whatever. There's another YouTube channel, and this goes more along the lines of it's not as silly. It's a little bit more serious. And actually, this particular YouTube channel, Holy Groove, their video, they do the Psalms sung in the blues type of videos.
Oh yeah. So this is the one. These are one of the ones that I share with Clifford in our group chat, like a couple of months ago, and then Clifford pointed it out. And it's like, Nick, I think that's AI, and I'm like, what? Uh-oh.
Yeah, see?
And that's when it started like, oh no.
Yeah, and here's the thing, you're not the only one. There's like 2 videos on this channel that got shared to me more than once, more than just you. Like my dad found one of them and he sent it to the family group chat, and someone else sent it to me on Facebook. And none of them realized that it was AI. Even for me, at first, it took me a second. But then I kind of started noticing some weird things about it. Like, I've kind of become a little good at like being able to detect AI music. Like, pretty soon I'm not going to be able to, because it's going to be too good. But at this stage, I'm pretty decent at guessing AI. But this one, it was difficult, but I started to notice it. And there was also the fact that in these videos, oh, whoops, I knocked my camera. In these videos, there's no artist mentioned. There's no one credited for it. Like, no singers, no songwriters or anything. And so that's when and when you also look at the rest of the content on the channel, you just realize, oh yeah, it's all AI, and it seems like it's more content farming. But I saw these ones shared a lot. Even shout out to Joshua Aubrey Jackson from Make Sure. He mentions, he talked about it on his Instagram as well. He like made a story about it. So these ones, because they've got the one, this psalm sounds like it was born in the blues. That one has over 1 million views. So it's getting around. And now I recently saw that their music is now on streaming. They've got it on Spotify and Apple Music and such. And so, yeah, this is another one where it's like, it seems like it's like a content farm type of thing. And if you look into it, you can probably tell that it's AI. But that's the thing, is that they're being deceptive, because there's no mention in anything that it's AI. Like nothing. So, but you can kind of even tell though that their thumbnails are also AI generated. Like this Psalm Sung in Blues by David would sound like this. Can we talk about the fact that it looks like Corey Asbury? But with long Jesus hair or whatever.
Oh shoot! Where at?
The one that I sent to the group chat. It's the Psalms Sung in Blues by David would sound like this. Also, I think your mic got disconnected.
I know. I was hearing the weird feedback loop again, like, so I was like,
oh, okay.
Turn back on.
Yeah, well.
Sorry, guys. It happens. No one hears it but me.
Well, I think your microphone, it's like going through your computer microphone, because it doesn't sound like it's coming through your actual microphone.
Let me check again. You good?
I mean, I can hear you. It just sounds like...
I'm sorry. I was looking at the speaker. Oh, yeah. It is over at Array right now. Sorry, guys. Anyway. So,
you're good. Is that just how it's gonna be?
I mean, we can take... All right. Sorry. As a side note, we can cut this part out. We can take a quick pause. Like, we can... I mean, if you're comfortable with it, we can stop this recording and then I can start it up again real quick.
Oh yeah, I mean we're past the half-hour mark anyway, so should be taking a break. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna take a little break. We'll be back right after these messages. Take care of these technical difficulties and all that. So, and we'll be talking about more Christian AI music. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're back.
Yeah. Guys, I just got done with a video call interview for the show, and I have to say that it was like the smoothest experience ever. Didn't have any issues or anything, and the video came out almost perfect. And do you know why? It's because I used Riverside. Riverside is your online recording studio where you can record a conversation with any guest online. You can easily record podcasts and videos in studio quality from anywhere, all from your browser or their mobile app. All you have to do is get your setup ready, send your guests a link for them to join, have them join from their phone or their computer, and just chat away. A lot of podcasts that you listen to are probably using Riverside, honestly. What sets Riverside apart is that a recording of your audio and your video is happening locally on your computer. So even if your connection isn't that good, it doesn't ruin the entire recording or anything. Once you've finished recording, you will get the individual tracks of each speaker and also a combined one. You'll receive all the raw files, including that Pepsi crystal clear uncompressed audio and up to 4K video. There's also lots of really cool features where you can edit your video right in their site. So, you're a YouTuber, a podcaster, or streamer, or a content creator of any kind, and you want to have high quality conversations with your guests, please use my link in the description and sign up for Riverside. If you want to support me and the channel, please use my link since I end up getting a cut from the sales. I'm not joking. Please support me. Sign up for Riverside and start recording today. Hey you. Are you a Christian artist, musical artist, or a musical artist who is a Christian? Well, you got music. You got music that you made. You got music that you're trying to get out there. Do you want it to be on my show? Well, it can be. And here's how. You go to the link in the description, submit a form, fill that all out, send me your music, and we'll get the song of your choice on this segment, the Spotlight segment, and the whole world will hear your music. And it's gonna be great. And I'm out of breath for some reason. Be a Spotlight artist today. Maybe not today, in the next episode. But it's gonna be fun. It's completely free. All I ask is that you promote the show, promote the episode that your song is on, and that's it. That's all I ask. But I want to support you. I want to support other Christian artists and get your stuff out there. So, yeah. Let's do it, baby. Spotlight artist, become one. Be it. Yeah. That's the ad. Okay, everybody, we are back after those messages, whatever they were. Yeah. And we're going back to the bleak topic of AI music. I had just mentioned the fact that the guy in this in this Holy Groove video looks like Corey Asbury with long hair. And I'm not saying that it is Corey Asbury. I'm just saying like the auto-generated image of what I guess is supposed to be David looks way too much like Corey Asbury. So not sure if that's intentional.
Yeah.
But it very much could be.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. But anyways, so moving on from the Holy Groove stuff, which by the way, they have 173,000 subscribers. Like,
well, that's definitely a lot more than one of the channels I've encountered, because in the orthosphere, I mean, like, it got everybody. It's gotten everybody. Because, like,
I mean, yeah, if you had some examples,
yeah,
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, I emailed you one video.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I'm
today.
very bad at checking my
I should have sent it to you sooner. Yeah, it's like
okay.
the first time I saw something was through Holy Mount from a YouTube channel. It's called Holy Mount Athos Chants.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
Saint
yes.
Saint Nicholas.
Okay.
So Mount Athos is a real place.
Mm-hmm.
These songs. Oh, okay. Yep. So, in like the first video I found through that channel called Holy Mount Athos Healing Prayer, Orthodox Byzantine chant for the sick. So, in part of the description, this channel does clarify the quote, these chants are not original recordings from Mount Athos, but are carefully composed in the spirit of Anthonite worship, drawing from ancient tones, reverent rhythm, and theological depth of the Orthodox Christian chanting. Unquote. So at least at least this channel is open to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like even the graphics, the sound of the tracks is convincing enough. The clips look relevant as heck. They do look legit, but like, is it
Sure.
real? No, it's not. And then a little bit later, finding out, and this is one of the videos I sent to Clifford from the same YouTube channel called Nativity of the Theotokos, Orthodox Hymn and Byzantine Chant. That's the name of the video. So it has an Orthodox nun playing the violin.
Yeah.
And those two things, nun, violin, that's pretty unheard of.
Really?
At least for the Orthodox view.
Sure.
Orthodox sphere.
I mean,
I should know. I spent a weekend with the nuns.
I'm watching the video, and like the bow is like going through the string. So it's not quite.
It is though.
Yeah, it's not quite.
And like you see those like weird bumps on the end of that fingerboard. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I'll probably show it in the video if I can. But
yeah, and like you guys shouldn't, like, people should know it's fake by this point. Also, because
I mean, it's still really good. Like, with all the flaws, it still looks pretty realistic. It's just not perfect. And here's the thing is that, like, instrumental music is even harder to differentiate if it's real or not. So I can see a lot of channels like making pretty good money doing and I think that there's already a lot of that on Spotify as well. I think Spotify is allowing a lot of AI instrumental music. So yeah, it's a lot harder.
At least in one of those videos from that channel, someone actually does point out, it's like, guys, this is AI.
Okay, good. Yeah, because in a lot of those videos that I talked about before, like all the videos, like they don't know. In one video.
Oh yeah. And there's the comment. It says, "Great music, but don't use AI, please." Yeah. And even the channel itself gave a
I see that comment.
So it's like
they don't even know. They don't even know what they're liking. They're just man. I mean, I don't want to disparage their intentions, but
yeah, because like, wasn't it Steven Spielberg or James Gunn that promoted, "Hey guys, go buy hard copies"?
I think it was James Gunn.
Yeah, at least in the movie sphere.
Yeah.
But also, that's good. But also in the music sphere, yeah, it's good to invest in vinyls and CDs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of a lot of AI artists that are making physical copies, so that's one thing. Yeah.
No, that's a new rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh, I I doubt it's happening, but it could
Well,
happen.
I'm not saying
I just feel like it would.
Well, I'm not saying it's happening, but that sounds like another possibility.
Sure. I just feel like it costs it takes too much work to make physical copies if it's just AI. Like I feel like a lot of these like AI YouTube channels and such, all they really care about is making a quick buck, off of like AdSense and views and such. That's my opinion. So those kinds of people, I don't think that they would want to go through all the work of making physical copies. But
Hey,
I could
it's
be
that
wrong.
one music video in the background that we watched.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, got mute meth going on. Hey, I mean, at least this will probably it'll make interesting conversation in the episode. But
yeah.
like I said, if anyone is too distracted by this, just let me know. I'm just going to keep it going. But yeah, that's very interesting. Not very surprising that there are people who are trying to get that niche of Orthodox hymns and such. Because yeah, AI music is just too easy to make. So there's probably people who have multiple YouTube channels because they're content farmers, and so they got multiple YouTube channels for different genres. I would not be surprised at all. But I want to move on from the more YouTube kind of stuff,
Okay.
because there are actual quote unquote artists who
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
they call themselves artists, and they
But who? The question is who.
yeah, well, I mean, who they actually are, I'm not really sure.
There probably is no who.
Maybe not, but
there is a who.
I mean, well, yeah,
as its creator,
yeah, there has to be someone behind it. But I can only think of a few examples, and they're not in Christian music, and I'm not saying that they're like popular or anything, but we're just pointing out the fact that they're real. One particular artist is this guy Lazarus Grimm, and this was actually the initial thing that kind of triggered me to want to make this episode, because I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to call them out because they later took it down and they apologized. But there was a certain music review blog who promoted this guy, this artist, and they shared a positive review about it. But they got so much backlash about it in the comments that the main founder behind the blog was like, I had no idea about this. We're taking this down. This does not represent we don't promote AI music. So they took the review down, but still was able to see who it was. And there's this artist named Lazarus Grimm, who I guess is a veteran, which, no disrespect. Thank you for your service. But the kind of music that they make is like a mixture of metal and rock and rap, almost kind of a POD type of thing. But it's Christian, and the content in it is, very, very spiritual and faith based. But it's AI, and I want to see if it's oh yeah, the guy behind it says he was a combat engineer of the 82nd Airborne Division turned Christian Druid, which I have no idea what that means. Like, what is a Christian Druid? But nonetheless, there's no mention of him being an AI artist in his bio, even though the music blog that promoted him knew he was AI. But yeah, so there's that guy, Lazarus Grimm, and then a couple others that friends suggested to me because I was looking for some research. There's an artist called Torchier, Torchier, which I just want to point out that this artist has had like, I don't even know if I can count them all, multiple albums released in just this year. And I don't know if they're all Christian, but I know about these guys because someone from Jesus Freak Hideout sent them to me, and they said, we reviewed this album, but we decided that this was the last time that we were going to review AI music. So this particular album called The Weight and the Wonder, I guess, is Christian, but this guy behind Torture has like multiple different genres and such, so I don't think it's all Christian. The guy behind it might be Christian, but I don't know. So there's that. And then another one that was brought to my attention is this metal AI band called Tower of the 100. And they're not very popular. None of their tracks have broken 1,000 streams on Spotify, but all of their music is based on the Psalms and such. Again, which, by the way, that's got to be super easy to make, because all you got to do is copy and paste the Psalms and tell Suno to be like, make a song out of this, which is most likely what the Holy Groove YouTube channel does as well. They just give them the scriptures and they're like, make a song out of this. So there's no talent behind it or anything. And but same for Tower of the 100, there is no mention that it's AI. Maybe they say in other things, but you would think that you would want to mention that in your Spotify artist profile. So those were a few examples. There's probably, and if you guys know of any, you can always like share them. They're very small examples, but we're mostly doing this to just point out that it's a thing. It's becoming a thing, and there's going to be more. I have no doubt in my mind that there's going to be more. And so we've pointed out all these artists and all these YouTube channels and such, but we haven't really gotten down into like, why is it? There's probably going to be some people that are going to be like, well, why is this wrong? You know, why is this such a bad thing? Maybe even some of these
bad for little people like us.
That is one of the points that I wanted to make. Those of us who like actually put effort. Well, I've got some points, so I'm gonna kind of go into the order, because I also
Go ahead.
Those particular AI artists could be watching right now, and so I want to be kind of like the olive branch to them and just be like, hey, this is what I think, and maybe you want to think about this. But one of the reasons why I think that AI music is not good, and in particular for Christian music, the biggest thing for me is that there is no work or effort in making music with AI. Like I talked about it before, all you really got to do is go into Suno and give it a prompt. Maybe you got to pay like a premium charge for Suno, but that's basically it. It's nothing compared to what you would have to pay for like an actual producer in a studio. It's just like a few bucks. Tell the AI what you want, what style you want. If you write the lyrics, you can give it the lyrics and they'll, do something with it. But you don't even have to do that. You can just tell it what the topic of the song is going to be, and they'll write the lyrics. And it makes a whole freaking song for you. And it's there's no work or effort into it, so therefore it's lazy. And God, the Bible, you just look in Proverbs, God does not like laziness. There's no glory or honor in that, in laziness. Like God does not appreciate that. And because yeah, both you and I, Nick, we've been doing music for a while, and while we're nowhere, like we're not famous or anything, but we've gone through years of hard work by not just for recording, but just like learning how to play and write music, like years of taking music lessons and then finally getting to the point where we could make our own music, and then finally getting to the point where we could record music, and then getting to the point where we get better at making good music. And making AI music skips all of that entirely. And so you don't learn anything and you don't earn anything.
It's just like a slap to the face for all of us that struggle.
It is. But I think most importantly, I think that can be I think that's, well, I don't want to say offensive to God, because God is not offended. But how do you expect God to be to appreciate that? In the Bible, there is a big emphasis on working hard and not being lazy and giving your all. Making AI music, it's nothing. It's as easy as writing a post on Facebook. That's really what it is. So it takes no talent, and it takes no work or effort. I mean, maybe you could say like, well, I thought of the idea. Well, that's great. If you have really good ideas, that's awesome, and you're a creative person, awesome. But you have to do the work so that you can make the song yourself. Like anyone and their mother can think of a good idea, but the real work comes into actually putting in the work to do good at what you're doing and to be able to do that yourself. So yeah. So we probably offended a bunch of people there. But the other point that I wanted to make is that you're taking credit for something that you didn't make. And so therefore, and we're talking about this from the perspective of being a Christian, that's dishonest. And you may even most of these artists that we talked about, there's no mention of them being AI.
A new form of plagiarism.
In a way, I mean, they're both like just as lazy, honestly. It kind of goes into the subject of sermons, because there was a big controversy not too long, like kind of more recently, about the number of pastors that plagiarize their sermons. And now what people are talking about, like, well, what if it's AI generated? Like, they're both lazy and they're both dishonest in a way, because it's not yours. What were you going to say, Nick?
Yeah, was I here for that one conversation?
I've never talked about that on the show, about plagiarism or anything, but it was a thing.
The part where pastors were using AI to write out their sermons. Did we talk about that? Did we talk about it on that show, or
no?
Did we ever discuss it offline?
Maybe. I can't remember. I don't know why. I wouldn't have talked about it on the show because
that just sounded familiar to me.
It is very much a thing, and the thing is that's harder to. You can't really sense right away whether something is AI or not. You can tell whether something is plagiarized. And then there was like with sermons and such, there are services where they will write sermons for you. And so you just have to preach that sermon. Even though that's technically legal, it's not your sermon, and you didn't do the work of studying the Bible to write that sermon. And the same thing goes into making music. Like, all these artists, all these YouTube channels are putting their music out there, and they're getting, that dopamine rush of these people liking their music. But how can they honestly take credit for it? Like, maybe they can take credit for the concept and the idea,
right?
But they did nothing to earn it.
Would we even properly label them as artists?
I mean, no, but that's what they call themselves. When I say artist, I generally mean it in quotations. Artist, not really
that
an
explains it.
artist.
I couldn't see. Right, that explains it. That's why I couldn't see it, because okay, for our podcaster listeners, I couldn't see Clifford's quotations.
Well, I wasn't doing it every time. I wasn't doing it every time. But no, from here on out, when I say artist, I mean it in quotations. Because you can't be there's an AI artist it's an oxymoron. Like, how is it artistic to be like, hey, AI, do this thing and make it, and then be like, hey, look what I made? You can't. You didn't do anything. You had a concept, sure, but I already talked about that. If you have an idea, do the work to make it yourself.
Just because you instructed it doesn't mean you created it.
Right. Exactly. So, and that just goes down to dishonesty. If you're claiming it as something that you did and that you made, it's not true. And that's one of the 10 commandments, is to not lie. And I don't care. I mean, I guess there are those artists that are like, this is AI music. But then, at that point, like, I don't know. I don't know why you even do that. I mean, like,
even I'm just as guilty. I didn't make songs with AI, but I used an AI app a couple of years ago to illustrate for me a cover art for a cover song I did with one of my Twitch friends a couple of years ago.
Sure.
So that's still up on my page. It's just like I didn't. So it's like I know I didn't make it. I just didn't want to hire anybody to do it for me to save time and money.
Sure, yeah.
But it looks nice. So like in that context, it was like, I just wanted something to share with everybody.
No, yeah, I get that. And
in this context, but like in the other context, you have to call me out, man.
Well, I don't remember if I had seen that before or not, but
no.
I was just gonna say that, like, I think we've all, like, especially with this new resurgence of AI and how accessible it is, like, I think we've all had fun with AI and we've experimented with AI. And honestly, I'll come out like full transparency. A couple years ago, I made a music video to one of my songs. I had seen this little trend that was going on YouTube where they were using what was the like first like very like really good AI image generator. It was like powered through Discord.
Oh,
I can't remember what it was, but I saw this trend where people were taking songs and they were taking the lyrics and putting them through this generator and basically saying, like, make an image that like is related to these lyrics, and they see what comes up, and then they do like different variations of that same image. And so when those images are put on a loop, it gives it a sort of like unique animated effect. And so I was like, that's very interesting. I want to do that for one of my songs. And I was transparent. I said in like the description, I might have said it at the end of the video, like in a text or whatever too, that it was all AI generated. And at the time, it was just something cool that I thought was cool. Looking back now, though, I almost kind of want to take the video down. I probably will, just because I just feel weird about it. Even though I was transparent about it being AI, it feels like, I don't know. It's very complicated, but just know that I feel weird about it, and I completely own that that's out there. Before anyone starts commenting like, "Well, I know you did for that Sherwood Forest song. You did this as AI." I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like I get it. I understand. I don't feel great about it, but in my defense, it was just something that I was experimenting with, and I thought was cool. Because there are aspects about AI that I'm actually very interested in. It's a very intriguing concept for me. But at the end of the day, I am very, very, very extremely skeptical about it and very critical about it. And so that's what this episode is about. But the other points I wanted to make is that, and you already touched on this, Nick, is that it spits in the face of those of us who have worked our whole lives to be as good as we are with the music and worked so hard to make that music. We promote like these real artists all the time who have worked so hard to make their craft, and now you're skipping all those steps, and it goes into my next point too, is that it raises the standard of how independent amateur music should sound and makes the entry point harder for most upcoming independent artists. Because even though AI music doesn't sound perfect now, it's going to be a point where it's going to be hard to differentiate it from real music. And so when you've got on one side all these real, like actual real musicians who make real music, Christian artists, and they're trying to break out onto the scene, and then you've got all these other people who are just making AI generated music and just putting it out there, and it's like, oh, this sounds really good, and then you can make it like that. It's going to make it difficult. How is that going to encourage real musicians and real artists who want to break out onto the scene with real actual talent? So it's going to, if we don't pull the reins on this, it's going to oversaturate the industry. It's going to oversaturate the scene, and in the end, be harmful to those who actually want to create good music.
Or at least building a very good presence on in the online scene, because like the overall, because of course the internet is a tool for us music artists, and the goal is to eventually lead all those listeners into an offline in-person experience,
Mm-hmm.
as it's been the model for a couple of decades. So I think this could lead into a complete reversal of us who want to get out there. Like if we try our butts off and like try to get out there and go do a bunch of shows and promote ourselves, soon the old tradition of word of mouth could spark up. So I'm not saying that. So I'm not saying that is a definite, but it's a possible. But that's just one of those possibilities.
No, yeah, I've had similar thoughts actually, that there could be a positive side to this, that it could, help force like real musicians to work harder, for sure. To work harder at building their craft. And also, because I've also thought about this, not even just with music, but with, pretty soon we're going to have AI generated movies and such. And like basically anything digital that you can stream or watch or listen to, AI is going to could potentially oversaturate it. And I think that it's possible that humanity could get to the point where they're craving something real, and they want to know that what they're consuming is a real human.
Yeah, and at least there's still a good amount of us who, like, it's not even that big of a problem, and we're already done with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's already an insult to us. But like, I think that with this, that
But like but I will say, forgive me, because like the only upside that I've seen when it comes to AI generated stories, there are at least 2 or 3 YouTube channels that like have used AI as prompts to make like really pretty cool live action looking Star Wars stuff.
yeah.
Like for like added deleted scenes, or like even some narrations from the novelizations, like some things from Revenge of the Sith, and just like some descriptions of some things, like it created more scenes, like when Anakin was on the med table and was getting transformed into Darth Vader, and then borrowing ideas from the comics, etc., etc. So it's like those kinds of things are pretty fun to watch.
Sure, yeah. And I've been, I've also, been guilty of enjoying a lot of those kinds. Well, I don't mean guilty to say that you're guilty, but I'm saying that I've done that too. I think that AI, there's some interesting things that you can make with AI, and that I've watched. I guess one particular niche thing for me is there are some AI creators who make horror content on like Instagram and such. And because, AI has no limits, there's some very interesting things that they can make that that you can't really do like without it. It's just really, I wouldn't say can't, but there's just been some really interesting and weird stuff. Sometimes it gets a little too much. Like that's a little too far for me. But yeah, there's some really interesting things. And that's why, I'll reiterate that I'm not 100% anti AI. I'm just anti AI in certain aspects, especially when it's replacing humans who are created in God's image. AI is something that we created, and that doesn't make it necessarily evil, because we create music
like
as well.
It's only just a copycatter.
Right. Yeah. So, I don't like it when AI does things that humans can do with just the least amount of effort, I don't like that. I only like AI when it can do stuff that humans are incapable of doing. Maybe not incapable, but it can make things easier in some way. I don't know. I mean, sometimes the line seems like it can be blurred, but definitely in this aspect, when it comes to people who just punch in words into Suno and I've got an MP3 file and I'm going to put it out on streaming. Like, no, you didn't do anything. So that's definitely a line for me right there. And what I was going to say was that about the positive effects of this is that, we'll probably start to see live music become more of a thing, because you go to a live show and that's real. I mean, maybe the songs they're singing are written with AI, but you don't know. You're just I don't know. Don't think too hard about it.
Let's not go there yet.
Yeah, just don't even think about it. But yeah, you go to a live show and you know that what you're watching is real. And maybe plays will become more of a thing, because you go to a play and you know what you're watching is real. So that's what I hope is the reverse effect of it.
Yeah, well, at least plays are still a constant in our town.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We've got our community players, and every once in a while the schools will do a play at the Connie Link Amphitheater. I myself was a part of a play.
There's even a
The Messiah.
yeah. Oh, there's even a play. I just remembered Into the Woods that'll be playing in town.
Yep, that's a classic. I saw the movie and it was bad, but I'm sure the play is different. I don't know. I didn't like the movie, but I'm sure the play is good.
I did reach out to get involved, but I found out I had to be a student to participate in it.
Oh, yeah, one of those.
But like they said, like one of the persons said I could reach out to the director. At the time, I decided not to do it.
Well, there's plenty of other things that you can be a part of too, like the community players. I've heard those are pretty easy to get into. But
yeah, and even for the Shakespearean festival, I talked to some people after I forgot what they call it, but it was pretty much a cast talent show, and it was awesome. So I got to talk to one of the cast members, and they said, "Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities you can do to help out for next year." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that'd be cool."
Nice.
I mean, that's fun. Man.
So yeah, I think that those kinds of things will start to have a resurgence. I hope.
I think they've just been underappreciated for a little while.
Oh yeah,
I could say a long time, but I mean like a little while, meaning like probably like the past 2 decades, or less.
Mm-hmm.
They've kind of gone under the radar.
Yeah.
Except for the people who love going to them as a pastime.
Right. Yeah.
With that exception.
Play nerds and such. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think they could definitely have I think they kind of are having a resurgence. There's like a big Chronicles of Narnia play that's been happening. That's been really good. But so yeah, I think we'll close with this topic with this. I mean, unless you had anything to add before I share just a closing thought.
Yeah. Well, I can say like oh no, I'm still pretty anti AI because of all the clean water that all the data centers are trying to suck it out. That's probably the biggest one. I was like, now that is another kind of stealing, because like we need water too.
Yeah, I mean that's
and there's even like a good amount of people out in Indiana who protested against a data center through Google. Had it gone through, it would have cost 1 million gallons of water a day.
Oh wow!
So obviously that's how bad of it was. So it's like, even that same, feels like I'm pretty against it because like that same thing also threatens the Great Lakes. Like I said, because like if those data centers for AI get built and constructed, that can indeed cause a water shortage. Nobody wants that. Nobody should be messing with our Great Lakes.
Right. I mean, I guess that's less about the AI and more about the companies that are behind it. But I get what you're saying.
And it's just like that's that's just the greater price.
Yeah.
Of AI usage.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not that well versed in that aspect of it, but yeah, I get that. It's It's a tricky topic. It's a hot button issue. I'm sure everyone will have their opinions on it, and you guys are, feel free to share your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear them. But I just wanted to close with this because this kind of strikes at the core of why I do what I do with this YouTube channel, like the whole heart behind it. And I want to I want to address all you, self-proclaimed Christian AI artists. If we are calling ourselves Christian artists, whether it's worship music or not, what we make is an act of worship. You could be making straight up worship music, or you could be making more like abstract kind of stuff. That's fine. What we make is an act of worship if we're Christians. At least it should be. When we're making music, our attitude should be, God, I'm ultimately making this for you. I'm putting my best effort into this so I can please you. I want my creativity to be a reflection of you and to bring glory to you. Now, if this is our attitude, do you think that making music with an AI music generator reflects that? I just want to leave you with that. I just want you to think about that. And hopefully it's gives you some sense of conviction, in a sense. So that's all I really had to say about that. So yeah, I don't know. Were we ready to move on from that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Let's get into some real music. Talk about some real Christian artists.
Yep.
And share our humble opinions about them.
Sweet.
We've got a couple albums and a couple singles. We've got a new album, actually, technically, debut album from Paul Meany. And then we've got a new album from Kevin Schlurith. Kevin. And then a new single from Josh Garrels, as well as a new single from Fepeste. Not Felipest, it's Fepeste, as I had once incorrectly pronounced it when I first talked about his music. So let's talk about Paul Meany. Let's talk about his new album, Forever Phase. And it's kind of crazy to call it his first album. It's his first solo album because, as many of you, I'm sure, know, Paul Meany is originally from Mute Math. That's where he got his start. And ever since Mute Math broke up, Paul Meany has been dipping his toes into producing. He's been producing for a lot of people, including 21 Pilots, which included 21 Pilots' latest album, which got to number one on Billboard. It was the number one album for a while, and he produced that. And so it's very,
Paul.
Yeah. So it's very timely for him to release a solo album on the heels of that album. Mm-hmm. And that album is called Forever Phase. And I got to say that it is, it's basically everything I expected from him in terms of like sound. It's not surprising or anything. You get the hints of Mute Math in there, but I'm also very excited to say that I also got some hints of Earthsuit, which was the band that he was in previous to Mute Math. A lot of OG Christian music fans will remember Earthsuit and the one album they did. In fact, one day I really want to do a video about Earthsuit and Mute Math, like the transition from Earthsuit to Mute Math. But there were a couple of songs where I got that vibe. And it's really cool. It's a good album in my opinion, and a lot of really standout tracks in it. I don't think that it could have gotten to. Okay, so it's hard to listen to Paul Meany, and it's to end Well, let me start over with that sentence. It's easy to listen to Paul Meany and miss Darren King's drumming on this. Darren King was the drummer of Mute Math, and he's an incredible drummer. And the lack of his presence to me is kind of felt in this. Like the drumming on this is good, but it's like it's hard to listen to this and not wish that it could, like, if Darren King was drumming on this, then this album could reach its full potential. Or even like, because I'm listening to his production and it's like it sounds like aspects of 21 Pilots, so it's like, oh man, if Josh Dunn did the drums on this would be awesome. So it's
you
just
saying you'll say the same thing for my new stuff? Because I did
why?
almost everything.
No, it's just that I'm used to listening to Paul Meany and hearing some really good drumming and like whatever else behind it. I don't think that this album reached the full potential that it could have, but I still think it's really good in my opinion. I love Paul is a big synth guy. I'm a big synth guy, and I think the synths in this are awesome, and Paul's vocals are great, and some really catchy songs. I just don't think that every song on this is a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. But that's just me nitpicking. I think most people will really enjoy this album. But Nick, what were your thoughts on this album?
Well, when I was doing the full listen through of the album, I did it through his Forever Phase movie that's on YouTube.
Oh, I completely missed that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it was released through 1 PM Music YouTube channel, 15,000 plus views, almost 16,000. Wow. So not a lot of people know about this one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy that I missed that.
Yeah. So when I was listening to this at work, I just needed to find something so I can add to my work playlist faster. So that created opportunities. I was like, oh, you got a movie? Okay. Now skimming through it, I'm like, maybe I should have sat down and actually also watched the full movie because this is pretty good.
I see.
And then once I realized it was the same, so when No Such Thing kicked in, I'm like, oh wait, no wonder this guy's familiar. I was like, oh yeah, we talked about this guy a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
that's right. So I was like, oh yeah, I see why Clifford got excited.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've been a fan of his stuff for a while, and so very excited for him to finally do a solo album. It looks like, as I look on YouTube, that all the there's that full movie, but then all the songs were basically split off into separate music videos. So, which I've seen him post before. I just didn't realize that it was a full album video that he made. So that's cool. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. So I just feel like a bad fan for not realizing that. So, but your overall thoughts is that you enjoyed it though?
Yeah, I had fun with it.
It is very fun. I think the song that keeps getting stuck in my head is "Say the Word." It's a very catchy song. It's got almost kind of a almost Latino or reggae kind of vibe to it. It's like, just say the word, just say the word. Da, da, da. Oh, yeah. It's like that fun call and response or echo kind of thing. But yeah, cool. Well, yeah, I think that this album overall is really good. I think I'll probably be expecting more if he ever does a follow up. Maybe a collaboration with maybe get together with Josh Dunn to do some drumming on it. I don't know. I think he did all the drumming himself. In fact, I think he did like everything on this album, which is really impressive.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of referring to because I saw it a lot more prominently in the section when I went to the section for No Such Thing. So I was like, they did everything. So I was like, heck yeah, man.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Because don't get me wrong. Because like when I heard the drum tracks for the first time for that song a few months ago, I thought it was all electronic. I thought that even the drums were electronic.
I think at some points they are, but I do think that they're, and most of the time it's like real drums.
Pretty good.
I could be wrong though.
That was pretty good production. And
yeah, he's. I mean, at this point, he's one of my favorites, honestly, because he's done great work with like everything that he does with 21 Pilots is my favorite thing from 21 Pilots. And then he produced Half Alive's first album, which is really good. So
okay.
basically anything that he produces, I'm gonna check out for sure. So yeah, he's a cool guy, and I'm glad that he's finally getting his voice out there again, because I've been waiting for this for a while. So all right, so that's our thoughts on Forever Phase by Paul Meany. He's a real big meanie, that's for sure, for being too good at music.
Yeah.
We can turn the point a moment into a place that finally works.
Anyways, speaking of being too good at music, we've got a brand new album from a good friend of ours, Kevin Schlureth. And it's his new album, Settle In. And yeah, so it's in my opinion, it's a great album. Maybe at this point it might be my favorite from him, honestly. I think in terms of quality and like production and everything, I think it could be his best. I need to do a deeper dive into his older music. I haven't quite yet, but this was really good. He put a lot of work into this album, I can tell. Just like everything just sounds so good. There's
it's like, yeah, you just have to really immerse yourself to like hear it all.
There's a lot of really cool stuff going on, like in all these songs. It's very, the sound of it is more, I think I saw he said in his Spotify artist profile, he called it post folk. And yeah, there's definitely some folk, kind of like some folk rock vibes to it for sure. Acoustic indie rock. The last track definitely gets more heavy, but yeah, so you've got, a lot of stuff going on with that. I love how in some of the tracks there's like it feels like a full on, well, maybe not like a full orchestra, but like a small orchestra going on in a couple of the songs. And so I kind of want to like ask him like how he went about getting that together. But I also just feel like that his vocals sound strongest in this album. And I love the melodies. Like the first time I listened to this, I was working, and one of the songs, I had never heard it before, but I felt myself singing along to it, and maybe it's also because of the fact that it's a very worshipful album, but there was just something about what I was listening to that just kind of triggered me to start singing along with it. And that's good. And one thing you haven't mentioned about the album is that there is a general theme to it. There's a theme of rest. Like pretty much all the songs in this album have to do with rest. And I think I remember him mentioning that at his set at the last audio feed, because I think he probably played a couple of those songs. But yeah, there's some super fun songs here with some really fun sounds going on, and some you still got the classic Kevin Schlureth, just like really heartfelt. Well, every song is like very heartfelt, he kind of gives me Andrew Peterson vibes, where I listen to him and it's like I feel uplifted and encouraged in a sense. So yeah, there's a great heart behind this album, and I think it's great. It could be an end of the year top 10 album for me for sure. But yeah, what were your you share your thoughts on it, Nick?
I'm trying to find. Well, I got distracted a little bit, and I was trying to find one song that was a good resonator. Let me check. I think it's for the weary. For the weary. Yeah.
Yep. It's a hard word.
I was like,
it's okay. You did it.
Right. I was listening to that. I was watering. So yesterday, so I was like, oh yeah, there's a good deep hitter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My favorite is probably, I mean, this might be, I don't know, a normie take, but right now my favorite is Bees, because it's just a fun. I'm a sucker for like good, fun, upbeat songs, and that's just such a great opener to the album. It kind of gives me Oh Hello's vibes in a sense, like the way that the whole song is crafted, and a lot of the other songs too. Just that folky vibe, very, very, very positive.
Yeah,
it's just got a good positive vibe. So,
can definitely say that for his newest album, we need Kevin Schwartz crowd surfing again. I wasn't there for that era, but it's like,
I don't know if I've ever seen him, crowd surf.
There are old pictures of him where he's done that at Audio Feed. I know that.
Sure.
And this was like, this was also like an era where he had a semi-full band for some of his stuff.
That would be fun to see.
Yeah. So when I say Kevin Schwartz crowd surfing, it don't have to be him. We just need people crowd surfing during his sets.
Right. Yeah. Not just for karaoke sets.
Yeah, man.
I was just at Emery's show in Champaign.
Yeah, that's right.
There's some. They did some crowd surfing there, at least for the last song. It was fun. But yeah, so Settle In by Kevin Schlereth gets 4 thumbs up from us. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. You took the cue. So great job, Kevin.
To be at work for your kingdom and make.
All right. So we've got a couple of singles to go. We have a new single from Josh Garrels, featuring Lauren Gones, which I was not familiar with before. But this is the latest single that is, leading up to his next album, which we actually have a title now. It's going to be a sequel to his last album, Peace to All Who Enter Here. So it's going to be Peace to All Who Enter Here, Volume 2. Which, I know we've been talking about like two-parters a lot, but as far as I know, this wasn't intentionally supposed to be a two-parter. He just decided to make a follow-up to it. So I'm really excited about that. Josh Garrels is one of my favorites when it comes to the independent Christian music scene. He has been for a while for me. So, and this track, I didn't know this when I said that we were going to talk about this, but it is a cover, actually. So he did not write this song. It was originally written by an artist called Harvest Grapevine, which I am not familiar with personally, but I guess a lot of my friends follow them. But yeah, so this track, it's basically about because like one of the lines is like let there be oil in my lamp, and it's basically about being ready for Christ's return, like being ready in our hearts. I guess kind of going along with the Forrest Frank conversation, you know. So yeah, it's a fun little track. It's got a great kind of head bopping groove to it, and I think it's fun. I don't know if I have too much to say about it. Kind of surprised that it was a cover. That kind of caught me by surprise.
I didn't
'Cause he
realize
is a
that
great
until you said
songwriter.
it.
Yeah. I didn't realize it until last minute, honestly. But it's still a good song, and he's got a great voice. So, what were your thoughts about it?
I can't believe this flew by me. Even when I listened to it, I was like, darn it.
What do you mean?
I forget, because like I forgot what it sounded like.
Oh, okay.
And the same thing for the next one. I was like, oh.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can carry the conversation about it, but yeah, I don't know. It's not too much that I can say about Make Us Ready. It's got I really like the message behind it, and I would say so far, based off of all the singles released, Peace to All to Enter Here has a lot more going for it in terms of its, at least for volume 2, it's got a lot more going for it with its production. The first one felt a little bit, it was still, I really loved it, and I really like it, but it felt a little limited in terms of some of its production because he recorded it at his home. So, and it was like during COVID.
Oh.
So, but this one feels like it has a bit more like kind of a bigger sound so far. And so I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, Make Us Ready has just got a nice vibe to it. I saw a post from the original artist who said that he liked Josh's interpretation of it. So as far as I know, Josh kind of put his own little twist to it. So much respect to that. And I guess that is kind of reminiscent to the first Peace to All Who Enter Here, because there were a lot of covers on that one as well. He kind of just like picked a lot of his favorite worship songs at the time. So yeah, I don't know. I would recommend Make Us Ready by Josh Girls, and really excited for the upcoming album. So
take my leg, set it on a hill, set it on a left, stand down on me.
next we got a new song from my good friend Fepeste, who also has a new album coming out, and it's a new track called Never Got Good. And in true Fepeste style, it's just a lot of fun, and and he very recently, 'cause this album is actually going to be released through Velvet Blue Music, who has been doing a lot of good work. They've been releasing Ronnie Martin's music and the Rocky Valentines, Gilia Taylor, who a lot of like people in the Christian indie scene really like her music. So I was really excited to learn that my friend Fepeste had been had signed with them. So and his singles have been his album What You Don't Know from 2023. I was a huge fan of, and it's Eric Jett, by the way. That's the name of the guy behind it. And I reviewed his last album, and I infamously accidentally called him Fella Pest. I don't even know why, but he contacted me through Instagram. He sent me a voice message, and he's like, "It's Fepeste." I don't even know how I put an L in there, but so I really loved his last album. I love the quirky, kind of laid back folk kind of feel that it had. And the latest singles, especially Never Got Good, seem to be an improvement on that. It just sounds even better. Like, it sounds like the same guy, but sounds even better. I like the it's got a very loungy kind of feel to it, especially with the bongos and the background vocals kind of doing that ba ba da ba ba kind of sound. It's very fun. And sorry, my throat keeps wanting to suffocate me. But it's a very sweet song about how easy it is for us to fail, and for the need for God's grace through in our moments of imperfection. So yeah, it's a very well crafted song, and I'm really excited for the album. I don't know if you had anything else to add to that, Nick. I don't know if you, because you probably don't remember it.
Well, I'm starting to because I'm listening to it.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I'm dying over here.
Sorry, listeners. I'm giving the okay sign.
And okay.
Okay.
It's like Dax Flames. If you ever watch Dax Flame on Instagram, that's how he ends all of his videos.
Nope.
He's like, "Thanks for watching," and okay. It's hilarious. Well, as you're listening to it, did you have any comments on it?
Nope.
Cool. All right. Well, it's enough to know that I like it, and I'm very excited, Eric, for your album. So we're definitely planning on reviewing that when that comes out. It comes out soon. I don't remember when, but it's soon. So
Never got good, never learned right, never not squandering all my time. Into your ear.
other than that,
Oh,
that's
boy.
all that we got for my humble opinion. So go check out that music for sure. And yeah, I'm trying. So
Take it
my
easy.
sinuses are kind of running, and they're doing that thing where they run in the back of my throat.
Oh.
And Me Without You is disappearing behind me.
Also, that's who the band is.
Yeah, they're doing that's a little parody of Back to the Future. It's a great music video, actually.
Oh, yeah, now I'm seeing it.
It's Julia or Holy to the Lord on the Bells of Horses.
I know, like he's got a lot of nostalgic music videos that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I never felt so seen in this episode.
Well, good. That's what's important. So anyways, okay, so we're getting to the end of this episode, and I have a very fun announcement for the next video, for the next episode. I teased earlier in this episode that it's going to be an interview episode, and it happens to be with Speak of the Devil, Mr. Red Shorts himself, Kevin Schlureth.
Hey.
Yeah. We haven't had the interview yet, but we're planning on talking about the new album and everything. So very excited, because I've been meaning to have him on the show for a while, whether to talk about music or to talk about audio feed, and but figured that this was a perfect excuse to have him on. So yeah, if you guys have never heard of him before, I encourage you guys to be tuning in for that episode. Go listen to his music, listen to his new album, and get hyped up.
Yeah.
As you can tell, we're big fans over here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that'll be the next episode. And thank you guys for tuning into this episode and hearing our hot takes on AI music and such. Always be sure to leave a comment and on that all that. And yeah, I don't know. any parting words from you, Nick?
Nova Air.
I ditto what he said. What is that? What's it mean?
I thought I was not supposed to say.
Oh, okay. I mean, I never said that, but if that's the rules that you're giving yourself, then I guess you'll just keep us in mystery then. All right. We'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Stephen Christian from Amberlin. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like, and also feel free to subscribe to I'm Clifford Today. For those of you listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a rating and a review. Also be sure to check out Clifford's Clips and Highlights channel. I'm Clifford Today. If you want to hear more from Clifford, check out his other podcast, Podwood Forecast. And there's always t-shirts and other merch you can buy, so be sure to take a look at that. There are links to everything in the episode description, so thanks for stopping by, and remember, he's Clifford Today, and you're not.